Well, our technical feature, big game of the week, isn't really that great of a game. We have some crucial games in the early window as well as a pretty important one on Sunday Night Football as well. Overall, though, should be a pretty fun Sunday Night Football, obviously with Christmas coming in a couple days and obviously a crazy Saturday as well from yesterday. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the NFL Week 16 Sunday preview. Obviously, as we go through every single game that's going to be going on this Sunday, as well as, of course, kind of talk about this playoff picture, which, of course, we start out every single preview out with. I mean, mostly because, again, it's really in the height of the playoffs. Obviously, as this is coming up. Obviously, the third to last Sunday of the season. Again, this Sunday, there's 12 games in the overall slate. Obviously, Sunday Night Football. 4 games in the late window, 7 in the early window. There's 3 national games overall, so it's not like last week. Of course, next week is wild. We have obviously 2 games on Christmas. We have a Thursday Night Football game. And NFL Network has 3 games on Saturday. Then Sunday we only have 9 games, which I think it's been the lowest. I don't think we've ever had a Sunday with that least amount of games. I think it's 6 in the early window, 2 in the late window, then 1 in the late. And obviously we have the next week we have 14 games to wrap up the regular season the next Sunday. Anyway, though, in terms of these playoff spots, of course, the Chiefs they're winning from what I know. Like right now, again, as this is being recorded, so I know the game's close. Obviously, prayer to Tank Dell. I hope he has I hope his knee is not completely just in shambles. It didn't look good at all on that play, though. Anyway, though, the Chiefs again, if that current score at least, or like the way the game's going holds, they will have a shot at getting the 1 seed by the end of today. Where of course the Bills, who are at 11-3, are looking to stay alive in that race. But of course, if the Bills do in fact lose that game, the Chiefs are get the AFC. And in fact, if they win on Christmas in Pittsburgh, they also clinch the 1 seed too. So Chiefs fans, it's more a matter of not sucking, and the Bills then again not actually getting the 1 seed. The Steelers, they still are technically alive for that 1 seed. I'm gonna say it's very unlikely. But hey, it's still possible. Again, maybe it's not even anymore. I don't think it is actually. Whatever happens in that Ravens game. Texans obviously is the 4 seed. They're around, obviously. Again, they're playing the Chiefs too, but they already clinched the AFC South. They're just probably honestly going to be locked there. I wouldn't even be shocked, again, whatever happened, if the Steelers actually won the AFC North here, if they didn't, if they didn't rest their starters, maybe not the last 2 games, but definitely Week 18. I don't really know why they'd have their guys play there. Obviously, the Ravens, again, all these 4 teams are playing on Christmas, just so you know. Again, it's very bizarre with that, but yeah. Anyway, though, of course, Chargers and Broncos already played. Again, biggest dynamic, though, is the fact that, again, the Bengals, again, if they're able to take care of the business, which we'll get to in a minute, and obviously the Broncos, they have a shot at keeping their season alive another week, of course, as they host Denver next week on Saturday. Colts and Dolphins, their seasons are basically over. They're going to have to win and need some help, obviously. A lot of help, actually, to again continue their push to the playoffs. And that's not, they're on life support, to say the least. But obviously, they're able to win their games. Games they could absolutely win. Then they'll still be alive. Teams that are eliminated, I mean, yeah, we know those teams. Again, we have one tank blow today, too, later in the preview. In the NFC, Lions, Eagles, and Vikings are all up for the 1 seed. I mean, the Packers are still I don't think they are. Well, they have a shot, but they're really not getting the 1 seed considering they've lost to all the 3 teams that are ahead of them. But yeah, 3 teams in the NFC, of course, at 12-2. The Lions do have the upper hand on the Eagles and the Vikings, but of course, the Lions playing the Vikings in Week 18 actually could decide the 1 seed when it's all said and done. Eagles, huge game, of course, we'll get to later. Vikings obviously have a big game as well. They already clinched playoff spot. Bucks, I think if they win and the Falcons lose, no, honestly, if the Bucks are able just to figure out what way they win here on Sunday night, I think they have a very good shot at getting the playoffs. They're playing the Panthers next week, and I think they can actually clinch the division, maybe even rest their starters before, but they just got to win this week, in my opinion. I think if they're able to get that done, unless the Commanders don't have anything to play for, I really do think that the Bucks have a very good shot, and with that later. But of course, rest their starters in Week 18, which I really think it should be their goal right now. Rams. This is a huge one against again, they're playing in a national game this week. It's going to be a huge one, not only because again they want to win it, but also so they can stay at pace with the Seahawks if something crazy happens there. Also, of course, the division I think will come down to next week though when it comes down against the Cardinals again for the primetime game against the Cardinals next week. Packers, they're probably locking the 6th seed. Like I said, they're probably again if they win they're in. So yeah, of course playing tomorrow. We'll get the preview out to you guys then. Commanders, they again one of them is getting that Eagles game. Outside of that, though, Seahawks are still in I wouldn't say a decent position, but they're still alive, obviously, considering they have an 8-6 record. Falcons need a lot of stuff to happen, of course, for them to get that. Not a lot of stuff. They just need the Bucs to lose, and they can't lose to get that. Well, they're going to play really good. Michael Penix Jr. should have to play really well if this team's going to have a shot at making the playoffs. Cardinals. Next week is the big game for them. They obviously can't fold this week either. Niners, they're probably not making the playoffs, but there is a possibility for them, even if it's under 1%. Cowboys, they're not making the playoffs. I'm just telling you the answer right now. They're obviously not. Saints, I don't even know how this is possible, but they are. And obviously, the Bears got eliminated last week, and they're just playing spoiler now, Panthers and Giants. In the same boat there, well, not the Giants, but definitely the Panthers. With that said, though, all I got for you guys in that playoff, I don't know, context, setting the scene thing. Anyway, though, let's get to our first game, of course, in the early window. In that case, I sort of alluded to, obviously, in that playoff picture breakdown there. Of course, it is the Browns and the Bengals wrapping up their season series. Of course, the Bengals are looking to sweep for the Browns for the first time since 2017, of course. That season, the Browns did not win a game, and that has actually been the last time the Browns were, like, really horrible, and that's what they are this year, too. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of back to normal, I guess, for the Browns. Anyway, though, the Bengals come, of course, in this one off of back-to-back wins, of course. Neither of them were very impressive, but they were both on the road. Obviously, they took care of the Cowboys, basically because Amani Oruwariye, who of course has been on the downturn, obviously ever since that 2021 season he had with the Lions, of course muffed that punt, or booted the punt, I guess. I don't even know what you want to call it. It was a disaster. Go watch the Monday Night Football recap back from Week 14 for that one. It's in the playlist for recaps. Anyway, though, obviously last week they were able to beat the Titans. Not really confident in that win, though. They should have won by a lot more. They actually 24 unanswered, obviously, after that win. Will Levis was playing against them, so that kind of makes sense why they were able to win that one. Anyway, though, they obviously are 6-8, and I think they have actually a decent opportunity to make the playoffs. I mean, they do need one real key thing to happen, but if they were to take care of business this week, I think they're in a decent place. I'll say that. I mean, it's not likely, but it's a decent place. Obviously, against the Browns squad that, of course, has had the Bengals number over the past couple years, but, of course, the Browns actually lost to them back in Week 7, in which 21-14 was the final score. But, of course, Deshaun Watson, their starting quarterback, tore his ACL. I mean, it wasn't like he was going to do anything to make them better. Of course, he had... If you know anything about Deshaun Watson, well, you know. But still, he's been out since then. Of course, Jameis Winston took over. He looked really... he was really fun for a while it lasted, but, of course, it was all imploded last week as they turned over the ball 6 times. And... honestly, I don't even know how to describe the game. They just played horrible defensively. I mean, it's been a loss year for a reason. And their defense, I just think, just got left out to dry. Anyway, though, they have to sit at 3-11. They haven't won a game on the road since Week 2. That was actually their only road win of the year so far, and it wasn't really a great game. Anyway, they're definitely probably gonna have a top 5 pick. But hey, maybe if they can pull off something and upset the Bengals. This game obviously will be at 1 o'clock on CBS. NFL Plus. I don't know why it says Fox, but whatever. NFL Plus and Paramount Plus will be the streaming services options for this game. Also, I'd like to mention that again. When these two teams played last year, I think it was in Week 18. And the Browns didn't really play anyone. It was like, what was even the final score? I keep forgetting what it was. I think it was like 31-14 Bengals. But yeah, the Browns really haven't played a competitive game against the Bengals here since 2022, and the Bengals beat them 20-10. It wasn't really that competitive of a game. Anyway, though, I don't know what happened here. This is just spazzing out on me. Anyway, though, announcing this game will be where is it? No. There it is. Spirit Diaz, Adam Archuleta, and DJ Kingo Ball. So it's basically a C game, guys. It's not a game you're going to be like really looking at. Obviously, with the map, it's in basically all of the AFC North getting this, as well as I don't even know what. Let me think about this. Oh yeah, Joe Burrow fans are going to get that one obviously from LSU. This is just spazzing out on me. I don't know what's up with this. Anyway, though, weather in Cincy for this game, obviously it's going to be really cold. Across the country, obviously these outdoor games up north, again, similar to Week 16 actually 2 years ago, where, again, there was like I think it was like Saints, Browns, and Bills, Bears, where the weather was just brutal. It was like super duper cold. Should be pretty similar this Sunday, obviously, but again, it wasn't like Christmas Eve, which is kind of weird. Yeah, no, those games are on a Saturday because Christmas on a Sunday. Anyway, though, mostly sunny, 30 degrees, not optimal conditions. At the same time, it could be a lot worse, obviously. It's like Christmas time. What do you expect? DTR will start. He's horrible, but Jameis Winston's questionable anyway. I mean, I'd like to see. I don't know why he wouldn't just ride the season out with him, but hey, they want to do what they want to do. DTR, see if he can do something. He's been awful for a reason. Bailey Zappi, I could see coming in though. Jerome Ford, Pierce Armstrong Jr. as well. There, Jerome Ford, a heck of a run last week. Again, he was really on the offense. Jerry Jeudy might be building himself a 1,000-yard season. I mean, he already has it. Never mind. This actually has been the best year of his career when you think about it. So. Good year for him. Honestly, Jerry Jeudy, go for it, bro. If you can like put up 1,300 yards, bro, you might even get a contract. Cedric Moore, Tillman will be out. Michael Woods, I think, will get some snaps. They really don't have anyone outside of Elijah Moore behind him, though. Obviously, Elijah Moore isn't exactly the greatest player either, but like, He's something. David Njoku's question was one of the better tight ends in the league. Jordan Akins, again, who's a solid backup, would start if he can't go. Jermaine Ifedi's their left tackle, and the rest of the line is healthy and starting. Jack Conklin has always been really good when he's played, so it's really nice to see him having a pretty healthy season overall. Defensively, Myles Garrett and Isaiah McGuire off the edge. I'm shocked. Oh, no, he has 11 sacks. I thought he had less. But anyway, Myles Garrett not having those back-to-back 16-sack seasons, but of course he went deep Defensive Player of the Year last year, and he's been really good this year as well as always. Mike Hall will probably get started there. He's been, honestly, I wouldn't say electric, but he's actually been pretty fun to watch this year in a lot of ways. Dalvin Thompson there as well. Jordan Hicks, Diabetes, and Devin Bush across the linebacking core. And yeah, if you didn't know, yeah, he's actually a decent player. Like, watch him tackle. Anyway, though, secondary-wise, Cam Mitchell has been a pretty decent guy. Obviously, Greg Newsome out for the lost for the rest of the year. And Martin Emerson Jr. is questionable. He's been questionable for a while. Mike Ford, I honestly could see there in the boundary. Ronnie Aikman has been fine. Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward, obviously, probably the two best guys in the secondary right now. Martin Emerson Jr. obviously underperforming this year. Dustin Hopkins, Corey Borquez, their kicker and punter. And for Cincinnati, they have something going on. Joe Burrow has a chance of throwing 50 touchdowns. He has 36 this season, and if he throws 5, 5, and 5, which they might need to make the playoffs, obviously that could be possible. Will that happen? I would be shocked, but he definitely is he's put himself in position to throw 40 touchdowns, which would be really good. Chase Brown, Khalil Herbert in the backfield. Jamar Chase, Tegan's Honor, Yossi Voss, their receiver. Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample at tight end. Orlando Brown Jr. and Alex Kappa are both questionable. Cody Ford is going to start somewhere on the O-line. Ted Karras and Marius Mims also there. Sam Hubbard is out, as well as Sheldon Rankin, so Miles Murphy will be getting some good run in this one. Obviously, for a guy who hasn't really gotten the snaps you'd like to see out of him. McKinley Jackson obviously has been okay. Chris Jenkins Jr. I'd expect to start, though, considering he does have the higher pedigree there as well. As for Trey Henderson, I think still leads the league in sacks, which is kind of crazy at 12.5. But hey, some seasons guys don't really get too many sacks. Obviously, 2020 is when it highlights me. Miami, I cannot pronounce this guy's name, but he's pretty athletic. Jermaine Pratt and obviously Keem Davis together have been here a while. Secondary is good to go. I mean, they had their best game of the season by far last week. Cade York, Ryan Raquel there, kicker and punter. And who I think is going to win this football game, I'm going to say the Bengals do, and I don't really think it's going to be particularly close. Say this one, they win this one 28-7. Also, again, the Bengals will be playing the Broncos next Saturday. Really for their season, obviously, if they're able to somehow win that one as well. Again, if I honestly don't even think that's honestly going to be possible if they make the playoffs. Because again, unless the Chiefs losing Pittsburgh, that's honestly they need a lot to happen if you really think about it. Because the Broncos obviously will be playing the Chiefs backups in the case that actually happens. Hey, they might actually lose that one. That would be funny. Anyway, though, yeah, that's all I got for you guys in this one. Now let's get to another game that has some playoff implications. And in an AFC South showdown, again, I guess not really. This game kind of sucked. We do have the Tennessee Titans wrapping up their season series against the Colts, who, of course, coming this one off of a season probably ending loss, if I had to guess. No, they're definitely cooked. Coming this one at 6-8. They might be 6-9. Nice. But anyway, they absolutely lost to the Broncos last week, obviously, on the Jonathan Taylor. Oh, yeah. Well, why did I do that? Of course, as you know, the Deshaun Jackson original thing for that. Anyway, though, of course, after that, they got ran all over, and you know they turned the ball over a lot. And yeah, now they're 6-8, and they're not making the playoffs. But the good thing for them is maybe I don't know. No, they're screwed. They have the Giants next week, and they got Titans this week, so maybe I don't know, dress up their record at the end of the season. I don't know. They're not very good. They obviously have did they already play the Jags twice? I don't even know if they did. Colts, yeah, I don't even know. They have the Jags in Week 18. Yeah, they do have a shot to, finish 9-8, pretty record. 3 bad teams they're playing the last couple weeks. So, hey, that's the bright side. But, again, you guys are probably not making the playoffs. But, again, they should have finished 9-8 on all likelihood. Titans on the other side they're really bad. They just chucked Will Levis on the bench for hopefully is the last time, and they want to see him again. Obviously, as he threw 3 interceptions last week, should have thrown obviously threw 1 pick six. Should have had a scoop and score or touchdown as well on them, but they dressed up the final score to make it seem like they didn't get completely blown out, but they did. At the end of the day, the Titans are obviously a terrible football team. They got a lot of work to do in this offseason to fix this roster. It's going to be a multi-year process, in my opinion, for this team to actually, be okay. But they still have some decent players, so maybe they'll make this somewhat close. Anyway, of course, to play back in Week 6, the game was basically a typical, AFC South game. It was close. Will Levis lost him the game, but he was also injured, so I guess give him some credit for that one, I guess. 20-17 was final score in favor of the Colts. Well, obviously, lost the Jags the week before. I don't know. The Colts have not been a great team this year. This game will be at 1 o'clock on CBS. NFL Plus, Paramount Plus will be the streaming options for this game. Announcing it will be Tom McCarthy, Jay Feely, Ross Tucker, and Tiffany Blackman. Map-wise for this one, it's going to be in green. So you got, literally just the Colts and, yeah, the Colts and Titans fans are going to be getting this game. The Titans, though, they, of course, have Mason Rudolph starting. He already started a pretty good amount of games this year. Tony Pollard's questionable. Tajay Spears would go if he can't. He's coming off a pretty good fourth quarter. Calvin Ridley, I mean, is he close to 1,000? Yeah, not happening. Maybe he does. I don't know. 3 games to go. Nick Westbrook is 8 touchdowns. I still don't know how that's possible. That's top 5 in the league somehow. Tyler Boyd also there, but he's a real shell of his former self. Bryce Oliver is now a receiver, I guess. Chia Conquo, of course, the tight end. Nick Vanette's the backup. O-line is healthy, but not good. I still don't know why Nicholas Petrie-Frere is starting, guys. He's horrible. Defensively, Sebastian Joseph Day, Trevante Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons across the D-line. They, of course, have done a pretty good, decent job this year. Arden Key, Harold Landry have been really not that efficient at all off the edge. I will say Arden Key has gotten some pressure on some points, but again, Harold Landry, he'll get his sacks, but he's just not really consistently getting the quarterback. James Williams is there. I mean, he's not a starting caliber player. Kenneth, I'm just completely dogging on this defense right now, guys. Kenneth Murray Jr. is questionable, so is Otis Reese Jr. Luke Gifford's out. This defense is cooked. Secondary, I guess, is kind of healthy, basically. I mean, L'Jarius Sneed's out for the year. Quandre Diggs, same type of thing. But, like, again, from what they have, they're basically healthy. Nick Folk is questionable. Braden Neverson, I mean, oh, God. Ryan Stonehouse, punter. And then, of course, when you look at Indy, who should win this game pretty comfortably. Oh, yeah, we got this on Christmas, I guess. You got Big Tony, Jonathan Taylor, Trey Sermon. Is Jonathan Taylor even close to 1,000 yards? Yeah, he actually is. I didn't realize that. Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, Alec Pierce is out. Adonai Mitchell is also there. Ashton Doolin is questionable. Kyle Granson, Andrew Ogletree, tight end. Mohawk Cox is questionable. Braden Smith is still out. I don't know why he hasn't played in, like, so long. Oh, no, he's not playing the rest of the year. All right. He's not been healthy at all this year. He's old, too. Maybe he will retire. I don't know. Was he 32? No, he's actually only 28. Ryan Kelly's the old guy, right? Yeah, he's 31, but he's been good. Quinn Nelson, Bernard Raymond, as well as Dalton Tucker also there. Michael Lewinsky, obviously. Will Fries. Will Fries would definitely be starting over him if he was healthy. But Dalton Tucker's just done a decent job there. Quiddy Pay, Deo Dingbo, of course, Leati Latu off the edge. Samson Ebukam, again, would be the best, probably, pass rusher on this team. DeForest Buckner, Grover Shooter, then there's no more thing at defensive tackle. E.G. Speed is out. Jalen Carley's will have to get start there, of course, with Zaire Franklin, Grant Stewart. Secondary, I guess, is good to go. I really don't care. They're just inconsistent. Kenny Moore's awesome, but, like, it's just not a great secondary overall. Matt Gabe's questionable. Yeah, Oscar, Rigoberto Sanchez. And who do I think is going to win this game? I'm going to say the Colts win this one 30-13, and it's going to be another boring game. Don't expect too much out of this one, but, I mean, I'm just going to pick the Colts because, theoretically, they should finish 9-8. With that said, though, Fox's 3 regional games in this early window. Let's get to the first of them, which might be the worst of them as well. Alright, guys, and for what should be a game, I guess is what you would want to call it, of course, is the Atlanta Falcons, and they have the biggest story in this one. Going up against the Giants here. Again, these two teams haven't played in Atlanta since 2018. That was well over 6 years ago. In what was a very forgettable game. I don't know. I think it was on Monday Night Football. Giants Falcons 2018. Oh, yeah, this game was pretty irrelevant. But yeah, Saquon didn't do anything. The Falcons, I guess, Julio Jones had a big game. Marvin Hall, I haven't heard about him in a while. He had a long touchdown. Anyway, though, for the last time these teams actually played was in MetLife. That was a bad game, 17-14 win for the Falcons. Yeah. Anyway, of course, the Falcons are not playing good football coming in this one. Of course, they technically won last week, but not really. Of course, as they have been really bad in the past 5 games. Obviously, coming out when it 1-4, partly or mostly or all because of their quarterback Kirk Cousins, who has only thrown 1 touchdown and 9 receptions in that stretch, and they decided to bench him. And there's a developing story or statement that they're going to release some. Well, again, when the new league year starts, thinking like March 18th or something, I don't know, something like that. Either way, they're going to owe him a lot of money unless they can somehow trade him before then. Outside of that, though, they, of course, still have a shot to win the division. Outside shot, obviously. For the Giants on the other side, of course, they suck. They've lost 9 straight. If they lose this one, they'll be 10 straight, but, of course, that is a good thing because they don't lose, well, they're not going to get the number 1 pick, so they obviously want to lose. Falcons, obviously, like I said, again, they get the Raiders, they beat the Raiders last week, or survived Vegas. 15-9 was the final, and that one was really bad. Giants, yeah, they did their thing again, getting blown out by the Ravens. Again, they want to keep losing, too. This game, anyway, will be at 1 o'clock on Fox Sports app. NFL Plus will be the streaming options for this game. Announcing it will be Kevin Kugler, Dale Johnson, Laura Oakman, so it is a bona fide C game. Map-wise, not really any of the countries getting this. It's pretty bad. Not as bad as the game we'll get to in a little bit as well, but still, not much of the country. Giants starting lineup, honestly, I could care less, but for guys who are out, Bobby Okereke, Brian Bird is also questionable. Graham Gano and Jamie Gillian are also there. It's Jamie Gillian, the Scottish Hammer, obviously. And then we look at Atlanta. They've got some stuff going on. No, I think everyone's basically healthy. Kadarius Hodges is questionable. He's like a special teamer at this point. Defensively, Lorenzo Connor's only a significant guy who's questionable, but he's not even that good, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, Riley Patterson, Bradley Pinion there as well. And again, this is probably the shortest preview you've ever seen, but guys, this game really is bad. Obviously, Michael Penix Jr. is making his first start. But of course, I'm going to expect the Falcons to win this one 20-6, and in terms of guys, when it comes to again for the Falcons to make the playoffs, they got the Commanders next week. I'm gonna say they're gonna have to pull off a big upset on that one if they want to make the playoffs. But again, Michael Penix Jr. might be able to provide that mobility and I don't know downfield presence that Kirk Cousins was really lacking all year. So maybe that'll be good. But more importantly, after the Falcons, they're gonna have to win these last three. They got the Saints on the road and they're wrap the season as well. So who knows? Maybe they'll make the playoffs if the Bucs trip up and win these last three games. With that said, though, that's all I got for you guys this year. Now let's get to a game where both teams are struggling, at least in some sense. And that would be the annual Detroit trip out to Chicago to face off, of course, against the Bears, who have not won since middle of October. Of course, they come in this one sporting an 8-game losing streak. They are, of course, now double-digit losses for the fourth consecutive season, obviously. So when you think about it, yeah, Matt Nagy's actually been a good coach for them, considering how bad they've been the past couple years. Anyway, though, of course, this has been a lost season, at least up to this point, as they obviously fired their head coach after with the debacle they've had against the Lions on Thanksgiving, which we'll get to in a minute. But, of course, since then, they have really struggled. They've gotten blown out in back-to-back game against at least okay teams. I guess, obviously, the Niners aren't a great team, but they blew them out pretty good. Now, obviously, last week on Monday Night Football got destroyed. Now they come up here in a short week looking to pull off a pretty crazy upset overall. But, hey, they played pretty crazy against them back in week 13 as well. Lions, on the other hand, really haven't, again, played their best football, I guess, but obviously you can really just blame the injuries for it. Again, last week they gave up 48 points. Holy crap. Again, Jared Goff's 500 passing yards, 5 touchdown game, nearly 500 yards. Wasn't enough to get it done. Of course, they were playing catch-up the entire game and just weren't able to get it done. Defensively, they can't really stop a cold right now because they're playing Walmart employees, or they're throwing out Walmart employees, but I think some reinforcements are getting back, and the fact that, again, they could have what is it called? David Montgomery back by the divisional round would be insane. I think it's like the NFC Championship, something like that. So it's not completely off the table for the Lions. But the thing is, they got to keep their crap together. They have a big game this week. Obviously, they got to go to San Fran next week. If they're somehow able to win these next two games, obviously the big Vikings game to set up the end of the season. But offensively, if they're able to play really well these next two games and control the clock, specifically for Craig Reynolds coming in there, I think they have a good shot at still getting the 1 seed, obviously. But the division's up for grabs. Again, probably coming down to Week 18. But again, this is a game they should actually just destroy the Bears in. Like I said, these two teams did play back on Thanksgiving. It was a game, to say the least, obviously, as the Lions offense struggled to score in the second half. The Bears offense finally woke up in the second half. And obviously, the debacle at the end of the game where Matt Eberflus, he didn't call a timeout, and now he's no longer the Bears head coach. Speaking of that, the Bears obviously, they actually put a beating on the Lions back last year when they beat them 28-13. The Lions offense could not get anything going in that one. I think Jared Goff threw like 2 interceptions or something. Will be the same case, probably not, considering the Bears were actually a lot better than we really think about it last year, and also the fact that, again, the Lions were a little shaky at that time coming in that one last year. Anyway, though, this game will be at 1 o'clock on Fox Sports app. NFL Plus will be your streaming service for this game. It is not a feature game. I do not know why they're putting it there. It kind of pisses me off. But Steve Levy, Mike, Tannenbaum will be there on ESPN Radio. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, Megan Olive will be on, of course, the call for this one. It's going to be in blue, so I mean, most good amount of countries getting this game overall. Obviously, again, the critical cities, but the fact that, I mean, I don't know, where is it? No, it doesn't even matter for that. Anyway, though, some of the countries getting this game overall, and not a ton of it, but some of it is. Weather in Chicago should be not great, 20 degrees for Jared Goff, 9 miles per hour winds, mostly cloudy as well. Lions starting lineup, obviously Jared Goff quarterback, Jahmyr Gibbs, Craig Reynolds being a lot of carries. I think the initial report on Dave Montgomery and making a decision about placing hasn't made a decision. So again, if you put him on IR, he won't be back for a while. I think he could be back. It's not, again, it wasn't season ending, which was huge. Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, Tim Patrick are all going to play well. Allen Robinson obviously still on this team as well. Sam Laporta, Brock right there at tight end. O-line, Grant Glasgow's questionable. Michael Neese would be my guess. That's the last name. Of course, we get the start. Dan Skipper, of course, had a touchdown last week for this defense. Darius Smith is going to have to continue to play better. I mean, he really just hasn't played too great. I got to probably restart this if it does work. No, it's like geeked out right now. No, there we go. Oh, yeah, he hasn't played the greatest football over the past couple weeks, but of course he's been fine. What's the score? I don't even know what it is. Yeah, it's still 0-0. Makes sense. Who's winning? Well, I guess the Bears might be. Anyway, Josh Pascal, Pat O'Connor, Alquan Mahan, also off the edge. Aiden Hutchinson, like I said, could be back by the NFC Championship. Is there any real update on him, his return just yet? 4 to go. Okay. The squeeze pockets to the continue to return to the Super Bowl. Okay, should the Lions advance in the post? I'm at the mark. I'm gonna track my goal to Super Bowl. And I'm telling you, okay, you guys will promise me to get there. Okay, so it's not the NFC Championship. Probably the Super Bowl. That's good to know. Trevor now ask Ezekiel Turner. I mean, they're really rough here. Jack Campbell's gonna have to play out of his mind these next couple weeks to maintain that group overall. Alexander London, if I'm not mistaken, could be back by Week 18. I don't know for sure, though. We'll have to just wait for that one. Brian Branch is questionable, but Maynard Mosley also there. Kendall Vildor, Taylor Armstead, of course, Amika Robertson there at corner. With Kirby Joseph, free safety. Jake Bates, punter. Kicker, my bad. Jack Fox, a punter. For the Bears, they are not having a lot going for them. But DeAndre Swift, who was averaging, I think, like 3 points, 3.9 yards per carry, nice. With, obviously, Caleb Williams up there. Roshan Johnson there. Travis Homer is doubtful. TJ Morkey, now Roman Dunze there, a receiver. With Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett there, tight end. O-line-wise, Ryan Bates was put on IR. Coleman Shellen is going to get the start there with Kevin Jenkins and obviously Braxton Jones both questionable. Larry Borman, I don't even know. This dude could carry and could get the start. Matt Pryor and Donald Wright are also there on the O-line. Defensively, they're not in great shape. Jalen Johnson's questionable. Mir Speed would start if he can't go. Gerald Dexter Sr. is questionable. Byron Coward obviously is probably going to get the start anyway. Again, if he can't go. Montez Sweat, DeMarcus Walker off the edge with T.J. Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, and Jack Sanborn across that linebacking core. Pretty good. They're healthy. The rest of the secondary has been healthy most of the year, obviously outside of Jaquan Brisker, who has had a season-ending injury. Carol Sanchez, Torrey Taylor there, kicker and punter. And for them to say who's going to win this one, I don't think it'll be like a completely blow up. I'm going to say the Lions handle this one pretty nicely. I'm going to say they win this one 27-13. No, I'm going to say they win 27-16. Bears think offensively will have a little bit of success, but I think the Lions offense will be able to again control the clock into a pretty good game overall. In route to a 27-16 victory. That's all I got for you guys in this one. Now let's get to our last, obviously, regional game here in the early window. And, of course, in a game that obviously was, again, for the Panthers, at least, they were in a very similar situation last year. They're going to look to actually, pull something off this time. Of course, they host the Arizona Cardinals, who are coming in with, obviously, life support in terms of, again, their playoff chances. But at the same time, they're still around, which is obviously big for them. Obviously, they're coming this one off of a pretty big bounce-back win, of course. Beating the Patriots pretty handily, 30-17, of course, as they were able to snap that 3-game losing streak and win their first game off their bye week. Kyler Murray has not had, again, the most prolific numbers overall this year, but he did get over 3,000 yards passing with that win last week as well. As the running game looking a lot better defensively, they still got a lot of questions, but, I mean, maybe they can, ease them with a good performance here against the Panthers squad that, of course, is coming off one of their worst games of the season overall. Of course, they really didn't play well at all against the Cowboys. I mean, they had a chance there, again, at the half to, again, coming out of the half to, again, maybe, like, pull something off there, but, again, they weren't able to do that. Ended up losing 30-14. Bryce Young had his worst game since probably before he got benched. Obviously, though, they come this one to 3-11 losers of, what is it now, 3 in a row or something like that? No, 4 in a row, technically, of course. Before that, they've obviously were competitive with 3 pretty good teams overall. But anyway, they obviously are out of the playoff picture completely. They're obviously eliminated. They're just trying to, be competitive these last 3 games. They obviously have a game against who are they playing? Oh, they're playing the Bucs on the road next week, and then, of course, they finish their season. Who do they finish their season with? No, wait, I was wrong on the Falcons. I don't think they play the Saints. They might play the Panthers, actually. Yeah, I think they play the Panthers. No, I think they finished the season in Atlanta. Anyway, though, yeah, of course, they're going to look to maybe pull that one off, too. Anyway, though, like I said, the Panthers had a pretty similar game like this, what is called, last year, of course, in Week 16, where the Packers came in desperate at 6-8, needing a win. They had a bunch of drama going on as well, but, of course, the Packers somehow able to pull that one out 33-30. Panthers, obviously, offensively, Bryce Young, best game he had all of last year, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kind of didn't really know I knew that, but whatever. Anyway, of course, they're trying to actually win this one. They're a better team this time, so I think they might actually be able to pull that one off. In terms of when the last time these two teams guys played, well, they played actually back in 2020 as well as 2022. In 2020, the Panthers actually upset the Cardinals 31-21. Kyler had a massive game. I think it was like over 400 total yards, but it wasn't enough to win it. Back in 2022, though, the Cardinals won by double digits, 26-16. So we will see again a mold of those 2 games. This game though will be at 1 o'clock on Fox, the Fox Sports app, NFL Plus, and NFL Plus, and the Fox Sports app again will be the way you can guys can stream this game, but. Specifically for that second time they played, it was also a 4:05, so it was a little bit odd. Anyway, though, Chris Myers, Mark Schulich, Jen Hale on the call, Sports US Radio of Ted Robinson and Ron Rivera on the call as well on Sports US Radio. In terms of the map, it's in orange. You got most of Arizona getting this one as well as most of South and North Carolina. That's really all that's getting in this game, so it's basically a C game. 41 degrees, a little wind, sunny, so it's not the worst weather for this one, I guess. Kyler Murray, quarterback. James Conner, Trey Benson is out, so DJ Dallas gets questionable too. Marvin Harrison Jr., Mike Wilson, Greg Dortch, receiver. Zay Jones is also there with Trey McBride and Tip Ryman there at tight end. Paris Johnson Jr. is out at left tackle, so Calvin Beachum will probably get the start. Evan Brown is questionable. Isaiah Adams is also there. I did not know Calvin Beachum's still in the league. He's like 35. Jesus. Anyway, though, Elijah Furlat, Tristan Colon, and of course Jonah Williams across the O-line. Defensively, Xavier Collins, Elgin Collier, Darius Robinson, and Dante Stills off the edge. Naquan Jones, Roy Lopez questionable. Curtis Tunga is also there. Matt Golson Sr. is out. Owen Papo, as well as Kaiser White there, linebacker. Again, you got Baron Browning also off the edge. Sean Murray Bunting's questionable. Q. Clark also there. Jalen Thompson, Breaker at safety with Sterling Thomas the fifth, and Garrett Williams rounding up the starters there for the Cardinals. As we Chad Rowland, kicker, and Michael Pilardi at punter. When we look, wait, how old is Michael Pilardi? I think I went through this last week. He just hasn't played in a while. He's only 32. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, though, for the Panthers, he was actually their former punter. Bryce Young at quarterback, True Barber, Raheem Blackshear in the backfield. Adam Thielen, Joan Coker is questionable. Xavier Lee gets out, so we could have a situation where Dan Chisholm and Devin Tompkins are there. Receiver obviously David Moore also questionable. Is he just listing concussion? I would say he might play. I don't know for sure though. Jalen Coker, obviously, his injury was a little bit of a up in the air as well. Tommy Trumbull, Jatavian Sanders there at tight end. Felipe Franks would actually be fun if he got in there. Ikem McQuan is questionable as well as Robert Hunt, so you might see Cade Mays, Damian Lewis. Jared Kingston as well as Taylor Moen again will be out there as well. Jared Kingston again is up in the air though. Anyway though, defensively, Ashawn Robinson's questionable. John Harris is his backup. Shai Tuttle, LeBron Ray is also there with DJ Wanham. Jake McClellan is questionable. DJ Johnson behind him. Rest of the front seven is good to go. Defensively, you obviously have Michael Jackson as well as J.C. Jackson and J.C. Horn, my bad. And Chow Smith-Wade there at nickelback, obviously with Xavier Woods and Jordan Fuller. They're both there at safety. Ed Piero kicker, Johnny Hacker at punter. And now when we get, again, for the overall prediction for this game, I usually pick one upset a week or something like that, and maybe there's more some weeks. Obviously it varies, but I think honestly this will actually be the upset. I'm gonna just say it right now. I think this game will be a fun one to watch, and I think there'll be actually a good amount of points in this one as well. But I just have a feeling, I don't know. Obviously for the Rams, they'd really like this to happen. But I'm going to say that the Panthers pull off a big upset here and knock off a Panthers squad, the Cardinals squad that just been really inconsistent, obviously off their bye week. And I think it's going to be a really fun one to watch. I'm going to say they win this one 28-26, and what, again, should be a really fun one to watch. But hey, Cardinals should absolutely be able to win this one, but I'm just saying I think this will be the upset this week. Panthers, I think, will stun some people. And I've just put the Rams in good position. Anyway, though, let's get to, again, two national games in the early window. Obviously, one that could obviously decide a division. The Eagles obviously are looking to win their first division title since, 2 years ago when they were in the Super Bowl, yeah? If they want to repeat that success, this is probably the game they want to get done with. Alright, and Fox's featured game this week, of course, I mean, it was yesterday, but I guess, like, the NFL on Fox here on Sunday will be the Philadelphia Eagles looking up to wrap the NFC East, obviously, as they have not had a repeat division champ since, I don't even know, it was like 2005 or something. Last time, NFC East team, 2001, 2000, yeah, last time in 20 years, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, of course, the Eagles will have a chance to get that done, obviously, here. Again, it's no matter what, it's going to be 20 straight years, obviously, without a back-to-back division champ. Anyway, though, Eagles obviously come this one at 12-2 on a 10-game winning streak. That is a franchise record for them. They are not going to want to go in here into Washington Commander land and lose that. But of course, I wouldn't say pretty easy, but a pretty good chance they'll be able to do that, obviously. As they also chase for the number 1 seed as well, you got to remember that too. But of course, the Eagles, their last 2 games aren't exactly the hardest either. They're playing somebody next week. They're playing the Cowboys at home, which isn't too bad. Then they finish with like the Giants, I think, at home or something like that. 2 games that should be wins. Anyway, though, Commanders obviously coming this one at 9-5. They again lost to the Eagles back in what was it, week 11, right? What was the final score of that one? Like 30. Well, I might not remember the final score. It was like 26-18, I think. Eagles, Commanders, week 11. Yeah, 26-18. Saquon blew up on them, of course. But, again, I guess that was like, again, they've lost, what was it now? It really doesn't matter, because after bye week, they've won back-to-back games. Or actually 3 straight, right? No, whatever. Ever since that game they had the loss in week 12 to the Cowboys, they've actually played a little bit better football, of course. They have not lost since Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving weekend. Obviously, they beat the They beat the breaks off the Titans back in week 13. Then obviously last week we were able to escape New Orleans with the win. Still not a great team, but still if they're able to again figure out a way to upset the Eagles in this one, they'll give me a lot more faith in them. Which I guess is something. Again, I think they clinch a playoff spot with a win as well. Either way, of course, like I said, they played back in week 11. The Eagles won that one 26-18, really cementing themselves in the division. They have not lost since. Obviously, they haven't lost before that either. Anyway, though, this game will be at 1 o'clock on Fox. The Fox Sports app and NFL Plus again will be available to the whole country for this game. Map-wise, again, or not, Joe Davis, got Greg Olsen, Pam Oliver, so does CBS, Fox's second team calling this one. Compass Media Radio, Chris Carriano, and Brian Boldinger. Again, you look at the map, it's in red. Again, not actually too much of the country's getting this game, but again, definitely a majority of the amount is. Maryland weather, obviously 31 degrees, 7 mile per hour wind, sunny, so overall not the worst weather. Obviously, Jalen Hurts quarterback. Saquon, kind of game one in the backfield. Saquon needs how many yards to get to with that? He needs probably, I'm going to say probably 2 or 3 really good games, or at least 2 really good games to get to 2,000. Devontae Smith, John Dotson, both of their receiver, as well as Grant Calcaterra, CJ Uzomah also there. O-line is healthy. For this defense, Milton Williams, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Nolan Smith Jr. also there, with obviously Josh Sweat also off the edge. Jalen Sutton will get in there a little bit as well. Zach Bond, and of course, Nakobe Dean are the linebackers, with Quinyon Mitchell, Jerry Slay Jr., Cooper DeJean there corner, with Reed Blankenship and C.J. Gardner-Johnson safety. Normal stuff there in the special teams unit, and then, of course, when we look at Washington, they've got Jay Daniels at quarterback with Brian Robinson Jr., Jerry McNichols there in the backfield, as well as Chris Rodriguez Jr. Austin Eckler's put on IR with concussion. Again, he's probably not going to be playing for a little bit, at the very least. Diamond Brown, Terry McLaurin, Ahmed Skis there, as well as Jamison Crowder. I think Terry McLaurin is second league with 11 touchdowns. I think only Jamar Chase is more. Zach Ertz questionable. John Bates also there at tight end, with Brandon Coleman, Andrew Wiley, Sam Cosme, Tyler Biotis, and Nick Allegretti across the O-line. Cleveland Farrell, Deron Payne, Jerzon Newman, Dorrance Armstrong across the D-line, with Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, Dante Fowler Jr. across the linebacker core. Really, Dante Fowler Jr. is an edge rusher. He has not had a sack in a couple weeks, though. No, I think he had one last week. Anyway, though, secondary, I guess, is healthy. Jeremy Channel being the only unknown there. Zane Gonzalez, Trey Sway there, kicker and punter. And finally, who do I think is going to win this game? I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if the Eagles lose this, but I'm going to say they actually do win this one pretty, I'm going to say comfortably, but it should be a good one for them. I'm going to say they win this one 38-28, so again, a high-scoring game overall. 38-28, final score for the Eagles in this one. Now let's get to, again, CBS's first game of their doubleheader on this Sunday. With the win, the Rams potentially put themselves in a win-and-in situation next Saturday night. If that's possible, well, that would be awesome, but at the same time, it's all about this game. And in one of 2 games, obviously, for CBS here in their doubleheader, of course, the early game does bring you out to MetLife Stadium, as, of course, the 4-10 New York Jets coming off of a pretty solid win over the Jags, who again aren't a very good team, but at the same time, tank bowl wins are still wins, as they're obviously able to win that one, feel better about themselves, and now sit at 4-10, obviously snapping their 4-game losing streak. As well, again, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers getting things going. Against the Rams squad, of course, comes in this one finding themselves on a 3-game winning streak. Of course, they did the same thing back, of course, when they started at 1-4. Before, of course, they lost in Week 10 on the road against, not on the road, in primetime against the Dolphins, another AFC East team, obviously, in which they did not score a touchdown. They didn't score a touchdown last week, though, and they won on Thursday Night Football on the road against the Niners. So, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but maybe that offensively look a little better, maybe more like they look against the Bills, who obviously, they won on a thriller there. Anyway, though, of course, the Rams, if they're able to win this one, they'll, of course, maintain the spot, of course, top the NFC West. And again, if the game we'll get to next goes the way they want it to, they actually have a shot, again, in clinching the division on Saturday, again, if all goes as planned. But anyway, that is a lot to obviously unpack there, but with the head-to-head over the Seahawks, that is obviously possible. But obviously, they're going to really need to win this one, because this is a tough game for sure, obviously, against the Jets squad that, again, like I said, has done that. But more importantly, the Rams freaking lost to the worst Jets team we've ever seen back in 2020, when, of course, they were 0-13, and the Rams somehow found a way to lose that one. But, of course, that got them Matthew Stafford, so I'm not going to completely dog on that game. But at the same time, this Jets team's probably better than that other Jets team was. So, I mean, again, the Jets have been really bad this year, obviously. But at the same time, they could obviously beat the Rams in this one for sure. And I expect it to be a really close game, too. The Rams haven't played at MetLife since 2016. It's, I don't even know what happened in that one, to be honest with you guys. Rams Jets 9-6. Holy crap, we actually won that one. So maybe we'll have a similar game more like last week. Anyway, though, again, it's gonna be at 1 o'clock on CBS, NFL Plus, and Paramount Plus will be the streaming services for this game. Obviously, it is CBS's national game here in the 1 o'clock window. But Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins will be the call. So again, if anything crazy happens, expect Kevin Harlan to call his brains out or shout his brains out, something like that. Obviously, a ton of the countries get in this game. I don't know why they're blacking it out here. Sure, I guess I kind of get it. Again, most country, obviously, if not all of it's getting this game, so that's pretty good. Obviously for the Rams there. East Rutherford weather, 23 degrees, freezing cold, which makes sense. 7-mile-per-hour winds, sunny as well for this game. So, yeah, the Rams got to be ready for that cold weather. Rams starting lineup, Matthew Stafford, quarterback. Touchdown yet? You bet. Kyron Williams, Blake Corum in the backfield, Puka, Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson, receiver. Oh, yeah, also Cooper Kupp was held without a catch for only the second time, maybe third time in his career last week, of course, as he got shut down by those Niners corners. Tutu Atwell also there. Tyler B. Colby Parkinson there at tight end. O-line is healthy. Again, for the guys that want starting, obviously. Again, pretty crazy. They've actually been playing well when they're healthy. Tyler B. obviously making his return, though. That's huge. They're going to be using him a lot in this one. Ease him into it a little bit, but he should be pretty good. Braden Fisk, Bobby Brown, and obviously Kobe Turner across the D1. Byron Young, Jared Verse, Michael Hoyt off the edge. Christian Rose, Omar Speights are both at linebacker, obviously with Darius Williams, Cam Curlquin, Lake, obviously Kobe Durant, Kel Witherspoon, and Emmanuel Forbes Jr. across the secondary. They signed somebody too, wasn't it? I forgot who they signed. It was somebody. Who the heck did they just sign? What was his name? I don't even remember. It was someone. The Rams signed some edge rusher, I think. I don't even know who it was. He's not on the active roster, though. I forgot. Again, I'll get back to that when I get there. It might have been like Tier Tart or something. I don't know. No, I don't think it was him. Anyway, Joshua Cardi and obviously Ethan Evans there, kicker and punter. And for the New Jersey Jets, they obviously have Aaron Rodgers, quarterback, Breece Hall, Brandon Allen's questionable, Isaiah Davis also there. Garrett Wilson, obviously Ravonte Adams and Alan Lazard also there. Xavier Gibson also there. With Tyler Conklin and Jeremy Rucker there at tight end. O-line is good to go. Outside of Elijah Vertucker, who's questionable. Wes Schweitzer will probably get the start if he can't go. Will McDonald, Hassan Reddick, and obviously Eric Watts off the edge. He's former, what is it called? UConn guy there as well. Quinn Williams, questionable. Solomon Thomas behind him is, again, you probably see a little bit of Leonard Taylor too, who has, again, been a pretty effective edge interior pass rusher. Sam Eguvan, again, is pretty good as well as James Sherwood and Quincy Williams there at linebacker with Sauce. TJ Reed, Michael Carter will be out, so Isaiah Oliver will start with Chuck Clark and Tony Adams there at safety. Anders Carlson is the kicker, obviously with Thomas Morstead at the punter position. And for what I expect to win this game, I'm going to say the Rams win this one 23-20 because that's the score they lost by. Back to them back in 2020, so again, reverse that. And also the fact, again, the Rams keep every single game close. Offensively, I think it'll be a struggle overall. I think the Jets defense will actually show up. But the biggest thing for them is don't turn over the football a bunch, and Rams defense pop off, and I think it'll be a pretty decent game. Remember, Aaron Rodgers isn't mobile, and as long as you stop the run, it shouldn't be, again, the hardest thing for that. Again, Devontae Adams will obviously be a problem in this one. But I'll say the Rams escape MetLife with a big-time W, again, basically off the mini-bye week. Anyway, though, big game, obviously, for the Rams. See if they can pull it off. Anyway, though, let's get to a game that, of course, is huge, of course, in the regional window, absolutely late. This game should be getting some national spotlight, but it's not, so yeah, I guess that's how it is. But of course, the 12-2 Minnesota Vikings coming off their 7th straight win. Of course, that is their longest streak since way back in 2022. I know it's been so long, Vikings fans. Of course, as they look to, again, potentially take over the NFC North and even somehow the NFC lead, guys, at the end of the day, which would actually be wild if that actually happens. But hey, they're able to take care of business, and the other two teams that are 12-2 aren't able to do that. It's very possible, guys. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. With the Vikings team that I think had like the worst record in the league, something like that, prediction at the beginning of the season. We'll obviously get to the reaction to that after the Super Bowl. But of course, Vikings have won 7 in a row. I don't still think they're a very legit team, but they take care of business. They have not really played a good team outside of maybe you could argue the Cardinals. Since, again, they lost to the Rams back on Thursday Night Football in Week 8, but since then they haven't lost. They absolutely were able to take care of that Cardinals team 23-22 back in Week 13. And now they find themselves in a very good spot, again, heading up north in Seattle on a short week, which, again, in a game that, again, isn't exactly going to be the easiest for them, but considering they are a better team, we'll have to wait and see, obviously. Of course, they were able to blow out the Bears last week, 30-12 in a game where, again, obviously it was highlighted by Justin Jefferson, again, giving his wishes out to Randy Moss, which, again, we all should be doing. The Seahawks, though, they, of course, come this one at 8-6. They, of course, saw an end to their 4-game winning streak as they are now 8-6. And, again, with the Rams beating them back in week, 9 in overtime, they really wish they would have won that one. Now, obviously, don't have the head-to-head there, and they're going to have to, again, look ahead to Week 18. But, honestly, guys, they're not able to, again, this is a really tough game, obviously, but, again, they're able to somehow win this one. Stay in a good spot, obviously. But if they lose at the same time, not the end of the world either. But still, it's going to be a big game for them, obviously. As they come this one, of course, at 8-6. Again, the Gals getting Bears in short week, obviously, on Thursday Night Football. That shouldn't be the end of the hardest game for them. But of course, due to come this one at 8-6, again, off of the loss against the Packers, they're going to look to try to win this one. Obviously, it won't be the end of the world if they lose it, but again, a game they'd obviously want to win. This game is going to be at 4:05 on Fox Sports app, and NFL Plus are your streaming services for this game. It's a little weird, but Adam Amin, Mark Schler, and Christina Pink will be on the call, as well as Compass Media have Bill Raninsky and Merrill Hodge on the call. As you guessed, it's the only late game, obviously, Fox in their late afternoon regional window. I think there's only one game next week as well. But it's going to be in green, so you got almost all of the Northwest going into the North Midwest getting this game, as well as other parts of the country. Obviously, SoCal getting this. Again, the really northern part of California. This is like bona fide Oregon at this point. No Cardinals, they'll get in this one. Seattle weather, 50 degrees, 11 mile per hour, light rain, so it's not going to be the most optimal conditions for this game, but I mean, Vikings don't really cry about it. Sam Darnold, quarterback, Aaron Jones, and obviously Cam Akers in the backfield. Sam Darnold, I think, has a career high in touchdowns as well this season. He's got 29, fifth in the league. God damn, bro. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, their receiver, with T.J. Hawkinson at tight end as well as Josh Oliver. C.J. Ham is questionable fullback. Again, Cam Robinson's been actually pretty good there at left tackle. The rest of the O-line is good to go. For this defense, though, Jerry Tillery, Harrison Phillips, and, of course, Jonathan Ballard across the D-line with Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel off the edge, as well as Dallas Turner. Blake Cashman, Cam Hill, both at linebacker, with Stephon Gilmore and Shaq Griffin, as well as Byron Murphy Jr. They're at corner. Obviously, Harrison Smith again being questionable. A low record of kicker, Ryan Ryan at punter, and then of course when you look at Seattle, they got something going on, I guess. Obviously, Geno Smith, the quarterback, he's healthy, which is good to see. Kenneth Walker, and obviously Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. Has he thrown for 4,000 yet? He is close. That's good, I guess. Yeah. JSN, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, their receiver, with Noah Fant, A.J. Barner, tight end. O-line is good to go, I guess. George Fant being on IR as well. Anthony Bradford isn't great, but they're going to figure it out, obviously. Christian Haynes obviously got cooked up last week as well. Defensively, outside of, they're basically healthy guys, normal defense. Jason Myers, Michael Dickinson there, kicker and punter. And for when they're going to win this football game, I want to say the Vikings win this one 32-24. 32-24 Vikings, my final prediction for this game. And that's all I got for you guys here. Now let's get to, of course, the later the late national window where we actually do have 3 games. A little weird, but hey, it works. And the first of those 3 games, obviously, will be the AFC East first actually matchup. It's weird when they have these games super late in the season, but I think this might be. I'm gonna get to a comparison in a little bit, but of course we do have the Patriots and Bills facing off for the first time this season. Obviously, the Bills have dominated this series ever since the Patriots decided to start sucking. Obviously, when Tom Brady just decided to ditch them. Anyway, though, they have to come this one at 3-11. They've lost. What is it? I don't even know. When was the last time they won a game? Oh, they beat the Bears in week 10. They haven't won since week 10. That's what I'll tell you. I'm going to try to do the math for that. But anyway, come this one at 3-11. Of course, they're a really bad football team. But hey, Drake May might make things exciting. Not last week though, of course, because he didn't really do anything until the fourth quarter. But probably see a similar type of game here today against the Bills squad, of course, who again is coming off their biggest win of the season as they went into Detroit and just scored. And Josh Allen basically cemented himself as the MVP winner. But hey, he still got to play well in this one. Again, they're trying to get the number 1 seed. Again, with the Chiefs, I can completely confirm they, of course, won today, 27-19 again over the Texans, of course. Check out the recap for that one. Again, for obviously the Saturday recap from yesterday. Anyway, though, Bills obviously coming to this one again 11-3. I guess they got the big W. Obviously, before that they lost to the Rams. So then instead of being a game back, they're 2 games back and really 2.5 now. They're gonna have to obviously win this one to stay. And they're running for that number 1 pick, and again, are gonna have to win next week as well against the Jets at home in front of the whole country to again stay alive for that number 1 pick, number 1 seed. I just like to see them lose though, because that would just be funny. They just don't get the 1 seed. But of course, if they win this one, they're actually gonna. If they win this one again, depending on what happened, the Ravens team, the match have to play the last couple games. Anyway, though, they want to keep it, stay alive, take care of business against the Patriots squad. Of course, they played them 2 of the last 3 weeks. And 2021 Panthers, Bucks when the Bucks played the Panthers again. They had them 2 of the last 3 games. Again, easy games for them to win. That's why they got the 2 seed that year. Ended up losing the Rams anyway, but still, that's why they got the 2 seed. Also, that's I think the only time I think I've had this late of a season matches. Maybe not though. Anyway, this game will be at 4:25 on CBS, NFL Plus, Paramount Plus will be your streaming services for this game. Obviously, last year when they played in Buffalo, it was actually a decent game overall. The Bills won 27-21. I think Josh Allen had a couple turnovers. Jalen Reagor had a long kickoff return. I don't know, it was something like that. And obviously, it will be Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, and Evan Washington. So it's actually CBS's second team, which means the map again will be a little bit. I would say again actually. It might be even. I think they actually got a pretty good amount of more of the country, so it's actually actually probably most of the country overall. So even though again it isn't the national game, it's still again getting actually the most area, which is kind of weird because this game really isn't that good. But anyway, 17 degrees, probably the coldest game, I'd say. 2-mile-per-hour winds, again, partly cloudy, so not great for Drake May, but hey, he played in North Carolina. He can figure it out. Drake May at quarterback. Oh, damn, they actually moved the ball far. Jacob Brissett also there. Ronald Stevenson, Antonio Gibson there in the backfield. Jermichael Hasty's out, so you'll probably see Terrell Jennings there on the returns. I don't know. Is he even a returner? No, I made that. No, he actually is. I was kind of close there. Anyway, though, DeMar Douglas, Keyshawn Boutte, and Kendrick Bourne there, receiver with Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper at tight end. Valerian Lowe's left tackle with Montre Jacobs the right tackle. Cole Strange is questionable. Layden Robinson will get the start if he can't go. Ben Brown and, of course, Mike Onwenu there, of course, across the O-line as well. Keon White is questionable. Dietrich Wise Jr. behind him. Rest of the front seven I really don't give a crap about. I mean, Jelani Tavai is really the only guy that will probably be starting next year. That's it. Devon Godshaw. Jonathan Jones, Christian Gonzalez, Del Pettis. Bleh. What a last name. Marcus Jones is out. Both starting safeties are questionable. Joey Sly kicker, Bryce Behringer punter. Mark Jones being out means tomorrow Douglas will be the punt returner. Then of course when we look at the Bills, yeah, they're there. Josh Allen at quarterback, James Cook and Ray Davis in the backfield. What even? Yeah, bro, Josh Allen's. Oh, that's actually kind of a nasty ratio when you think about it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Obviously with Amari Cooper, Shakir, and Keon Coleman receiver. Amari Cooper actually been kind of trash this year, guys. He really hasn't done that much. Curtis Samuel's questionable. He's like 31 though, right? Yeah, all right. Back on topic, he's 30. Reggie Gilliam, Deion Dawkins. David Edwards, Connor McGovern, Osiris Torrance, Spencer Brown across the O-line. Defensively, you of course have Gregory Rousseau, AJ Epineza, Von Miller, and Dwayne Smith off the edge. Ed Oliver, Jaquan Jones, a defensive tackle. Matt Milano's questionable as well as Dorian Williams. Terrell Bernard, Joe Anderson, both their linebackers, as well as 3 of the starters questionable in the secondary. Again, they didn't really play that well last week. Christian Benford, Teron Johnson are both there, obviously with Tyler Bass, kicker, and Sam Martin at punter. And for who's going to win this game, I'm going to say the Bills win this one pretty easily. I mean, they're minus 1,400 betting favorites for a reason, which would be funny if the Patriots actually won it. They're going to win this one 24-3. Yeah, the Bills' defense plays well. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, though, let's get to our second game, which, again, is a lot more interesting. You wanted something that's going to throw a wrench into the Raiders' draft pick? This game could be just that. In what seems to be like the 90th tank bowl for the Jaguars this season, of course, it is a generational run. Now their 3rd straight game with a tank bowl, of course, as they head to Vegas. I think it's their second road game. Anyway, obviously, they come in at 3-11 off of a generational loss of the Jets, where they proceeded to give up 200 yards receiving to Devontae Adams, and Mac Jones played awesome until he didn't need to, so that's great. Like, honestly, that's awesome. That's probably the best way you want to lose, Jaguars fans. You got to be pretty happy with how that game went, obviously, last week. But, of course, they're playing against a Raiders squad that is also really bad. They have the longest losing streak in the NFL coming into this game, obviously, at 10 in a row. That's crazy. Again, like I said, longest streak since. They obviously went 2-14 and also got, it's a number 2 pick, something like that. Or number 1 pick when they call it draft Khalil Mack, whatever. Of course, when they went 2-14 back in 2014. Anyway, though. On this one, of course, at 2-12, like I said. Desmond Ritter's their starting quarterback, I think. I don't know. Someone's to be starting for them. Of course, they've got the last 2 weeks. They've got a team next week. I don't even know who they're playing next week. I think it's like who are they even playing next week? Oh, they're heading to New Orleans next week, which could be interesting. And then, of course, they end the season, I think, against like the Chargers or something. It really doesn't matter. Jags on the other side, they've got the Colts. I know that on the road to end the season. Of course, next week they play the Titans and a tank bowl. Another one. Let's go. But of course for the Jags, yeah, they're really bad. But of course they actually have the upper hand on the Raiders for the number 1 pick. Of course, because they did lose to the Browns 18-13 back in week 2. Yeah, they did start out 0-4. You gotta remember that. Raiders beat the Browns. What was it, 20-16 back in week 4? So hey, early season bad games are relevant now. So. Again, if the Jaguars are able to lose this game, again, for the Raiders blowing this game, basically, they'll actually have a higher draft pick, considering they have the head-to-head common opponent thing there. Anyway, though, I think something like that. Also, them losing to them, too. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, of course, it's a big tank poll, though. This game, of course, will be at 4:25 on CBS, NO Plus, and Paramount Plus. Will be your streaming options for this game. Jags have never played in Vegas, but they played each other back in 2019 in Oakland, the last time the Raiders, last Raiders home game, so maybe they could try to get revenge. Of course, Jags actually won that one 20-16. But last time they actually played, I think, was 2022. The Jags won that one, it was like 27-20. It was a bad game. Anyway, though, no, actually it was good. What am I talking about? Andrew Catalan, Tiki Barber, Jason McCourty, and Adrian Ross are subject to watching this horror. None of the country, it's really, honestly, might be the least amount of, I don't know, that Cardinals and Panthers game was pretty minuscule, but not much of the country will be getting this game. And for again, the Jags starting lineup, they obviously have Mac Jones, quarterback. Travis Etienne Jr. will look to get over 500 yards rushing. Am I close on that one? Oh, yeah, bro. Nailed. I nailed that one. Tank Bigsby obviously also there. Brian Thomas Jr. is the best rookie receiver. No, he's not, but he's one of them in the NFL. Parker Washington, obviously Devin Duvernay, Josh Reynolds also there. With Brendan Strange, Luke Farrell there, tight end. O-line, I guess, is healthy. I mean, I don't think you'd want them to be healthy. I mean, you want them to be healthy, but at the same time, you don't want them to be healthy because then that means they'll be better. I don't know. Defensively, Josh Hines, Ellen, and Trayvon Walker are there with Eric Armstead, Devon Hamilton, defensive tackle. Mason Smith also there. Not to get confused with Mason Graham or Kenneth Grant. Foyce, Luke Kong, Devin Lloyd, and Ventrell Miller across the linebacker core with Tyson Campbell, Ronald Darby, and Jerry Jones there at corner. Antonio Johnson, Andre Cisco there at safety with Cam Little at pick kicker and Logan Cook at punter. And obviously when we look at the Las Vegas Raiders, the Raiders, there we go. They actually have Aiden O'Connell there at quarterback with, he's actually starting. Alexander Madison, Amir Abdul in the backfield. Dylan Lube is also there, of course, with, or Labaway, whatever. Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Terrace Marshall Jr., Brock Bowers at tight end. Colton Miller and Thayer Munford Jr. tackles. Interior the O-line, I guess, is good. Jordan Meredith, backup is doubtful. Tyree Wilson, Calvin Jason off the edge with Adam Butler, and obviously John Jenkins there, defensive tackle. Divine Diablo, Robert Spillane, and Tommy Eichenberg across the linebacking core with Jack Jones and the Cameron Richardson there at corner. Nate Hobbs questionable. Darnay Helms behind him. Trevor Murray and Isaiah Paul Mile about the safety with Daniel Carlson kicker, AJ Cole at punter. All right, who do I think's gonna win the tank? Well, I'm gonna say the Raiders do just for giggles, I guess. I'm gonna say they win this one 13-7. Anyway, though, let's get to I guess the national game. Not really much of anything, but here it is anyway. Obviously the Dolphins played in the same sort of window last year against the Cowboys. You probably would have thought these two teams would be playing for something, but at this point, life support is really all that they're got right now. I mean, it's tough. And it's CBS's last standalone doubleheader game of the year. Obviously, in the regular season, they will, of course, have these Niners and Dolphins, both teams that, again, are basically out of the playoff picture. They need everything possible to go their way, obviously, to make the playoffs. And probably, I don't know, probably a Popeyes biscuit or something. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, though, of course, the Niners come this one at 6-8. They're just not very good, let's be honest, guys. They should have beat the Rams last week. They had every opportunity to. They only get 12 points, no touchdowns. And they still lost. Of course, this kind of reminds me of the Christmas game 2 years ago when the Rams and Broncos played on Christmas. And the Rams obviously were coming off the Super Bowl. And the Niners actually won the Super Bowl appearance last year. But and then obviously the Broncos were just a complete disaster. So it kind of feels like that. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you guys. But of course the Niners, again, they've lost 5 out of their last 6, or 4 out of the last 5, something like that. But again, they're heading on the road to Miami against the Dolphins squad that also hasn't been playing very good football really all year. Their offense has been a complete shell of what it was. They had no explosive game at all. Tyreek Hill has had a bad year, let's just put it, for his standards. Of course, Jalen Waddle hasn't really been completely healthy all year. Defensively, they're trying their best. They're still pretty banged up, though. And overall, this Dolphins team has just been disappointing. Let's just put it as this. The Niners have been extremely disappointing, though. Again, they're down their 8th string running back. It's brutal for them as well. This game it's so watered down and so bad. It's just not fun. But the good thing is, these two teams are pretty even overall. It might even be the most even game we've had all year. Not only in terms of record, but in terms of injury and everything. Nonetheless, so this game will be, of course, at 4:25 on CBS, NFL Plus, and Paramount Plus will be your streaming services to watch this game. These two teams haven't played in Miami, I think, since 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Or not 2014, 2016. I don't know how I can go into that, but they played 2 years ago. No, wait. Let me think about this. About 2018, maybe. I don't even know. Niners, Dolphins, 2016. Yeah, it was 2016 when they played. They actually a competitive game. The Niners were 1-10 though. So Colin Kaepernick was still the quarterback. That's actually kind of crazy. But obviously for the Niners, of course they played them 2 years ago. They got a huge win. That was actually Brock Purdy's first ever appearance. They won 33-17. It was actually a blowout win. Really solid win by the Niners. Anyway though, back on topic. But it was Brock Purdy's first game. And obviously it will of course be Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, Sports US Radio of Josh Apple and James White on the call. Map-wise, again, it's not really actually as much as countries you might have anticipated, but still a decent amount overall. The weather in Miami for this game isn't really anything crazy. 7 degrees, partly cloudy. Average Miami weather for this. Starting lineup, though, obviously is Brock Purdy, quarterback, Brandon Allen is the backup. Isaac Guerrero is out, so Patrick Taylor, and it was after the year. All right, let's look at this. Their starting running back in the beginning of the year was obviously CMC. Their backup is Elijah Mitchell, who is already out for the season. Their third string back was Jordan Mason. He's out for the season. Their fourth string back is Isaac Guerrero. He's out for the season. They're on their goddamn 5th string running back. Holy crap. I don't even know. Is that even possible? NFL teams to have 5+ running backs start in the same season. No NFL team has have had 5 or more running backs start the same season. The maximum running backs that can start a game is 8 typically. 5 or more running backs starting the same season. That is actually crazy, guys. They actually have had 5. This is the first time ever there 5 running backs. There'll be 5 starting running backs in the season. That is just crazy. Like, I don't know how that's possible. Well, it's technically 4 because Elijah Mitchell didn't start, but it's basically 5, guys. That's actually crazy. Like, I don't think that'll ever happen again. Like, that's actually, like, they had 5 different, like, technically starting caliber running backs are injured. Israel Abanikanda, again, Jets guy, I think they drafted him. Keyshawn Vaughn has bounced around. I mean, this is awful. Like, this kind of tells you the whole situation there. Deebo Samuel has been terrible this year. Jawan Jennings is really their only good receiver. I think he's on a contract year. He'll get a good contract in the offseason. He's been really good overall. Ricky Pearsall, again, next year, really, again, we're really going to start to evaluate him. George Kittle's been great, as usual. Kyle Juszczyk has kind of had a down season at fullback. Trent Williams has not been healthy, but he's been elite when he's been on the field. Jalen Moore also there. This O-line just needs completely revamped outside of obviously Trent Williams, who I wouldn't even be surprised if he actually retired. He's old, guys. Like, I don't know. Maybe they'll, like, trade him or something, do him right, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's obviously a Hall of Fame guy. He's been overall probably the best left tackle in the NFL since he came into the league, let's be honest there. Leonard Floyd, though, Nick Bosa is questionable. Robert Beal Jr. is also questionable. Your Gross Matos wouldn't be surprised if he started. Of course, Nick Bosa is coming in an extremely down season. He's gotten some pressure, obviously, but he's been injured basically the whole season. Again, this Niners team is just so disappointing and so banged up. It's just a complete mess. The defensive tackles are obviously there. Malik Collins, one of the better interior pass rushers. Give him his credit there. Like, Leonard Floyd hasn't even been that good either. I mean, he got pressure last week, but, like, yeah. No, he's actually been fine. Further, Warner Drake Greenlaw is questionable. Of course, Devondre Campbell is no longer on this team. DFF could start. D. Winters is okay. You might ask, why didn't they just move Devondre Campbell to the sub linebacker? Well, it's pretty simple. They don't use their sub linebacker, guys. They run a lot of nickel sets. That's just kind of how it works. Like, Deommodore Lenoir is a very good nickel. Ronaldo Green, obviously, there on the right boundary as well. Charvarius Ward, who's kind of had a down season as well. Talano Funga probably won't be on this team next year, but I guess Gustavo to take over the reins there as a starter. Jerry Brown's also there. Jason Gibson Sr., I won't be surprised if he goes somewhere else. He's 34. Probably should retire. He's definitely lost a step, but he's still a decent player. Jake Moody, Pat O'Donnell around the starters for the Niners. And, of course, when we look at Miami, they obviously don't have much going for them either. 2, of course, quarterback. What's his stats looking like this season? Actually, not too bad. That's actually kind of decent when you think about it. Devon A. Chain, Raheem Mostert in the backfield. Jalen Wright also there. Tyreek Hill's questionable. Gio Waddle, Diaz Cruz both questionable. Malik Washington should get some pretty good targets this week. Jonathan Smith, Jalen Hill there at tight end. Al Engel at fullback. Toronto, both starting tackles are questionable. Interior of the O-line's good to go. Austin Jackson, obviously, after the year with that torn ACL. Again, he didn't have a great year overall, though. Defensively, I guess they're kind of healthy for where they are. Obviously, Bradley Chubb, I would be shocked if he played at all this year. Oh, no. Won't play? Yeah, he won't be playing. I wouldn't even put him out there, to be honest with you guys. Obviously, Phillips is out for the rest of the year. General Phillips, that is. Secondary's healthy. Jason Sanders, Jake Bailey, their kicker and punter. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys here with the Dolphins. And who I actually think is going to win this game? It's so close, I don't really know why it's that far apart there for us to win it. I'm going to get a coin out of here if I can find it. This is like a really old piggy bank I found. I think this is a quarter, right? No, that's a penny. I got some pennies in here, I guess. Let me see if I can find a quarter. That's a quarter. Alright, I gotta shove this back in there. You get in there. Alright, no diddy. But still. Oh, that's not good. I'm just going to put this here and fix that in a second. Alright. Heads is... Let me see this. Heads is going to be... this might be a freaking dime. I don't really care. Heads is going to be... Heads is going to be the Dolphins. And tails is going to be the Niners. Alright? I'm probably going to forget it. But anyway. It's going to be the... It's going to be... What was that? Tails? Okay, Niners win. Let's say the Niners win this one. Give them a little bit of a Christmas gift. 20-16. Yeah, there's your score. And that was a good year. Anyway, though, let's get to Sunday Night Football. If the Bucs win this one, and depending on what the Giants are able to blow up, of course, in the early window, the Bucs might very well be atop the NFC West, NFC South or clinch it by the end of the day. I don't know. This should be somewhat of a competitive Sunday night game. And on Sunday Night Football, the White Hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers head to Dallas to take on a Cowboys squad that again isn't very good, but then again they have won 3 out of their last 4, so maybe they are. Bucs obviously have won 4 in a row coming off their bye week. They obviously have had Mike Evans in those 4 games, and with Mike Evans so far this year, they're actually pretty good. I think they're like 8-3, I think, something like that. Anyway, though, they obviously have, like I said, have won 4 in a row and coming off their best performance I've honestly seen out of them with Baker at quarterback, as they blew the doors off the Chargers with a big-time second half, of course, blowing them out 40-17. On their way to, of course, this 8-6 record, they're able to win this one. They're obviously with the Panthers and the... Who they playing with 18? I think it's like Panthers and Saints. The final 2 weeks are, again, in a very good spot to winning this division. Again, if they're able to, again, win their division for, again, the 4th straight season. Again, Baker's been great. Again, some interceptions, obviously, but he's been great overall for this team. Cowboys on their side, again, come this one at 6-8 off the win against Panthers. I think that was actually their biggest win of the season. Of course, they were able to knock them off 30-14. Before that, though, I mean, like, they lost pretty bad. Obviously, the Bengals blew that game. But, of course, if they would have won that, I guess they would have still been in the playoff race, but I guess they're not anymore. Of course, they have won 3 out of their last 4. Cooper Rush just seemed to have been a good backup for them, so I guess that's good there. Of course, the 2 teams they'll play, of course, played on kickoff weekend 2 years ago. The Bucs beat them 19-3 and what was a really ugly Sunday nighter then, but hey, maybe it'll be a little bit better. Obviously, the Cowboys got the revenge in the what is it called? In the, in the playoff game they played. It was like 31-14. Wow game in that one. Anyway, though, Football in America as always starts at 7 o'clock. You see it. I'll actually probably stick around for the post game because, again, a lot of the playoff breakdowns. Obviously, they have a really good guy doing that as well. He's some NBC, like, demographic dude. Anyway, though, NBC, as always, as well as Universo, NBC Sports app, Peacock as well, NFL Plus. Oh, yeah, Peacock just stopped streaming Big East basketball games, so I'm actually getting a little pissed off. Their production is really bad, and I'm like, it's kind of bad. Anyway, back on track, announcing this game. Why does it keep doing this? Like, I'm going to get pissed. It's normal announcers. I don't know, maybe there's like a little bit of substitution for some stuff, but... anyway, though, you have Mike Tirico, Chris Collins from Melissa Stark, Miguel Gerwitz, Ronaldo Cantu, and Aaron Figueroa on the call for Universo. Ryan Radajik, Mike Golick on the call for Westwood One as well. For the Bucs starting lineup, this is just so geeked out. Just get rid of that. Anyway, though. Baker quarterback, Kyle Trask is backup. Bucky Irving, Rashad White both in the backfield. Rashad White coming off his best game in a little bit. Mike Evans, Joe McMillan, obviously, and Tashon Shepard, their receiver. Cade Imes out, which is a pretty big issue. Payne Durham will probably get the start, if I had to guess. You might even see a little bit of Devin Cokeith, obviously, the blocking fan, who's like 260, right? He's a big boy. Yeah, he's 265. Tristan Wirfs, Luke Gedeke, of course, big, 2 really good tackles. Obviously, Tristan Wirfs, you're just going to say him all the time. And Barnes been very good at center as a rookie. Cody Masters also pretty decent. Ben Bredesen, not too much, but hey, he'll do his thing out there. Kalaj Kianci, Vita Vea, Logan Hall across a very explosive D-line. Obviously, you do have Yaya Diaby and Joe Tryon doing something off the edge. KJ Britt is doubtful. V. Jones, I guess we get the start. Lante David is also there. Secondary-wise, Jamel Dean and Zion Coleman. Again, Teggy Smith, again, continuing Dave Carey, very heavily loved in the secondary. Antoine Field Jr. is out, so Kayvon Merriweather is actually doing a decent job. Again, they're utilizing his strengths there. Mike Edwards is questionable. Jordan Whitehead, any update on his return would be great. And nope. Of course, they do have Chase McLaughlin and not just really Chase McLaughlin there, I guess. And then for Dallas, they obviously have Cooper Rush quarterback with Rico Dowdle and Zeke in the backfield. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, receiver Jalen Brooks is out. Again, caught his first career touchdown last week. Kevon Turbin, don't forget about him. Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, tight end. With Hunter Lubick at fullback, Shuma Doga moving to left tackle. Obviously, he hasn't really been healthy all year. Thank God, Tyler Guyton's been a disaster there. Again, not really his fault. It's just he wasn't really ready. Rest of the line's good to go. Again, we already knew Zach Martin was out for the rest of the year. Micah Parsons, Nick Vigil, and Eric Hendricks, 3 of the highest or best performing line guys in this defense are all on. Oh, questionable. Wasn't the Marcus Lawrence root out for the year? I think he was, but is coming back into the fray as far as practicing. So, I don't know. Maybe he'll be back. He's actually been a beast when he was on the field. Chauncey Golston, Mozzie Smith, Osa, of course, across the D-line. I would be surprised if Mozzie Smith's the starter next year. He's been just really bad this year, let's be honest. It's really not his fault, but still. Maurice Leaf out there as well. Again, Deron Bland, Armani Oruwariye. Jordan Lewis is questionable. Kamon Hall is also there. Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson there at safety. With Brandon Aubrey, kicker, and Brian Anger at punter. All right. And obviously, wrapping up this preview, who thinks is going to win on Sunday Night Football? I think the Bucs are actually going to win. It should be, honestly, a pretty high-scoring game. Something fun to watch. I'm going to say the Bucs win this one 34-30. And some turnovers, some bad plays, some fun stuff going on there. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys here in the Week 16 preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. Obviously, enjoy all the games. And, of course, see you. Oh, yeah, also go watch the Saturday recap from those 2 games as well that went on yesterday. As well as the recap on all these games tomorrow. Again, Monday Night Football preview as well as coming out tomorrow. A lot of football going on, of course, the next 2 weeks. Again, happy holidays as well. All I got for you guys here. And, yeah, see you for the recap of these things tomorrow. Obviously, here with, again, the Mike Evans highlight from the last time these 2 teams played on Sunday Night Football.
Did he catch it? Yes, sir. Touchdown. Hard to beat in the air. Mike Evans.
This is pretty good. Watch this catch just falling backwards, one-handed. But Mike, what happened was the Buccaneers were just bludgeoning the Cowboys defense.